The figure above shows a right triangle with dimensions in inches. If theta is equal to 27 degrees, what is the length of y to the nearest inch? So the first thing we need to do is figure out which trig function will allow us to solve for y given the information that we have. So we know that theta is equal to 27 degrees, and we know that our hypotenuse is equal to 42, and then our adjacent side, I'm going to label x, we don't know what it is, and then we have our opposite side, y, and we don't know what it is either. So we need to use the 2 points of information we have, that theta is 27 degrees and the hypotenuse is 42 inches to try to solve this missing side. So if we look at our basic trig functions with so, ka, toa, our sine of theta is opposite over hypotenuse. Our cosine of theta is adjacent over hypotenuse. And our tangent of theta is our opposite over our adjacent. So now we need to figure out which one of these trig functions will allow us to solve for this y. So if we start plugging stuff into these trig functions, we have sine of 27 degrees is equal to y over 42. And I'm going to go ahead and fill in the rest of them, even though this ends up looking like this is going to be the one we're going to need, and I'll explain why in a second. So cosine of 27 degrees is equal to x over 42. Then tangent of 27 degrees is equal to y over x. Okay, since we're trying to solve for y, only this equation will work because the cosine equation gives us an x, and then the tangent equation we can't use it at all because it's got two unknowns, and we can't solve for two unknowns with one equation. So cosine is what we would use if the question was asking for x because it allows us to solve for x, but we want to use sine because it's got one unknown and it allows us to solve for y. So continuing this, we would multiply by 42 on both sides of the equation to get y by itself. Get y is equal to 42 sine 27 degrees. From this, we get a decimal approximation, 19.0676, and it continues a little further. But we want to round to the nearest tenth. So we need to look at our first whole number right here at this digit place right here. And then we need to look to the position after it to see if it needs to be rounded up or down. And in this case, since it's a 0, we're not going anywhere. We're staying where we're at. So we have 19 inches. And 19 inches is our distance for y, or the length of our y leg. And this is the answer Newton is looking for.